Should I talk? Hi, I'm Sam. I'm here in the NYT Cooking studio to make my cheesecake stuffed ginger cookies. So this is a chewy ginger cookie stuffed with a set cheesecake filling. So there's a secret special surprise inside. I think the fresh ginger, the crystallized ginger, the black pepper gives them a lot of wonderful spiciness. And then the cheesecake is creamy and rich and sort of mellows the whole thing out. It's a good combination. It's my favorite week. So we're gonna start by making the cheesecake filling, which has to freeze before you put it in the cookies, so that's why we're starting with it. You wanna start with really soft cream cheese because otherwise it gets a little lumpy. Ooh, this is perf. And then we'll add our confectioner sugar. So if your cream cheese is cold, you can take it out of the foil and throw it in the microwave on 50% power for 10 seconds. You don't wanna melt it, but just soften it up a little. Yeah, take the foil off. Now we're putting in egg yolk, which will help it set and then also give it a little bit of richness. Ooh, I broke it, but it's not the end of the world. Get in there. And then a little bit of vanilla. You could flavor it with other things if you wanted. I feel like orange blossom would be really good, or almond extract would be nice. And that's it. So now we have to scoop this onto a tray so that we can freeze little dollops. I think the easiest way to do that is to put it into a pastry bag and just pipe them out. If you don't have a pastry bag, you can use a resealable plastic bag. And the recipe makes between 18 and 24 cookies, but we'll do 24. So we'll do 6 times 4, right? Yeah. It doesn't matter what they look like as long as they're equal size, roughly. Didn't I make 24?
It's 5 by 4.
Oops. Well, today we're making 20. All right. That's okay. Go on vacation for 2 weeks and you can't do multiplication anymore. What are you gonna do? It'll be fine. I said 18 to 24, so today we're making 20. Okay, so now these have to go into the freezer until they're frozen solid. Now we're gonna make the dough. We have to chop up some crystallized ginger. You can leave this out if you can't find it, but I just think it adds something so nice because it's sort of peppery in a nice way. It has a good bite to it. Fresh ginger. I'm not even going to peel it, just wash it, but you don't ever have to peel ginger. And this is nice too because it's all those different, you have ground ginger, fresh ginger, and crystallized ginger. So ginger forward in a good way. That's about 2 tablespoons, I think. Okay, so now we can make the dough. So we'll start with our flour. So I put black pepper in these, which amps up the spiciness of them, but I'm just gonna eyeball it. Make sure you give it a good whisk so that baking soda gets well combined. Did I forget to add salt? I did. I believe in properly seasoned baked goods. I would say use salted butter if you have it. I'm a real big proponent of salted butter in baking. I think it's great. But I don't know what did I call for here? Oh, I did call for salted butter? Good, I meant it. I didn't measure that, but that looks like half a cup. It'll be fine. Okay. So if you want to make about 20 cookies, each one should be about 45 grams, which is also a 2-inch round ball. And you should form all your cookies first because you don't want your cream cheese mixture to soften while you're forming them. And you can freeze these cookies. You can assemble them and then freeze them, but you want to let them thaw out a little bit before you bake them. I mean, they'll bake fine if you bake them from frozen, but they'll look nicer if you let them come to room temperature before you bake them. Okay. And wait, I made 20 balls, didn't I? I'm so pleased. My mistake worked out just perfectly. So now we need our frozen cheesecake, but you want to work with it just a few pieces at a time because you don't want them to thaw while you're filling. It's a little annoying, but you got to stay near your freezer and sort of work back and forth. Here are my cute little frozen dollops. So then we just flatten it out a little bit, put a dollop in the center, and then wrap the dough around. It's totally easy, right? Oh, let's get more dollops. It's really satisfying. It's like putting a baby in a blanket. It's swaddle. Little cheesecake baby. Okay, they're all filled. If your dough is super, super soft, you can pop it in the fridge to chill for about 15 minutes before you roll and bake them. But mine is feeling pretty nice and firm, so I'm just gonna go straight through. This is the fun part. Now we get to roll these in sanding sugar. White sanding sugar is nice. You can also use colored sanding sugar. I made them in fuchsia when I was developing them, and I think they looked really pretty. Sanding sugar is a coarser sugar. It's really clear and pretty and sparkly, and it doesn't melt when you bake. If you don't have sanding sugar, you can roll them in demerara sugar or even granulated. The look will be slightly different, but they'll be very pretty nonetheless. But also you could skip it altogether and just do them naked if you wanted to too. So we'll do about 6 on a tray because they are gonna spread. They're so cute. They look like donuts. All right, let's put them in and see what happens. Everyone loves to hear that. Okay, so my first batch are out. I know that they're done. If you look in the cracks in the very center, you can tell if the dough is wet or if it's dry, and so you want to pull it out when it's dry. If you want your cookie to be perfectly, perfectly round, when you take it out of the oven while it's still warm, use a cookie cutter or a glass or a bowl like this and sort of spin them so that the edges hit the bowl and then tighten up and become perfectly, perfectly round. But you have to do it while the cookies are still hot, otherwise it doesn't work. Ooh, they're so cute. For the optimal crackly top, I would bake 1 tray at a time. When you do 2 trays, this is what the bottom tray looked like, which is perfectly acceptable. They'll be delicious and lovely, but they just look a little nicer if you bake 1 tray at a time. Let them cool on the trays for about 5 minutes before you transfer them to a rack to cool completely, or for as long as you can wait. I'll just do 3 because it looks so pretty. And now I get to eat one? Okay. Look at that. The cheesecake is so creamy and delicious and light. And then the cookie itself is sweet, but also really spicy. There's sort of you get a little back note of ginger spiciness and pepper spiciness. It's actually a really lovely combination. I don't want to toot my own horn, but. What's happening?
I have a surprise for you.
You do?
It's
cute.
all of the Cookie Week cookies.
That's a work of art.
Ooh, these
that.
are a work of art.
Yay!
These look so good.
That one
looks
warm.
so good. Oh, she's thick. Oh, it is warm. Oh my God.
You like?
Oh my God. The reason why I came over here is because I was in the office and I smelled the cookies baking and I was like,
It's a good smell. It's
I
a
wonder if they're
real.
almost done. If somebody wanted to make those, where would they be able to find them?
You can find this recipe and all the delicious Cookie Week recipes on New York Times Cooking.
Happy baking! Oh, Santa's gonna love it.